works now. Okay, hopefully you can see me and you can hear me. Yay! All right, sorry for the delay. I want to make a quick video. As you can hear, my kids are in the background. On natural oils for our hair and their benefits. A lot of times we see products that have like coconut oil, castor oil that are a part of that particular product. So I want to talk to you about why those things are good for you and some of the oils that you should use on your hair by themselves versus inside of a product. So let's get started. And I'm sorry while I'm turning pages, I have some notes here and just wrote down some of the oils that I think are most commonly used in a lot of the products that we see on the market and their benefits. So the first one that we normally, first of all, let me back up. My name is Ashley. How are you? I am the creator and stylist of Textures Hair Care along with Pure Healthy Hair Products. So welcome to our page. I do not like doing live videos as I told you before. However, today we had some technical difficulties. So we're going live. All right, so let's dive in. First one that you see, first oil that you see a lot of in different products is olive oil. Olive oil is best used for split ends. A lot of times you'll see different people put it on their hair and then put as a product on top of it. And that's just to help seal the ends and seal in the moisture that you need for your hair. So some of the benefits for olive oil is it helps to manage the split ends. It also softens the hair. It helps to moisturize the hair, and it also gives it volume. For some people with thinner to medium type hair textures, it allows the hair to be full and voluptuous, especially if you put a little bit on before blow drying. And it's great for hot oil treatments. If you've ever used a hot oil treatment that was bought from the store, a lot of times it does have olive oil added to it. Sorry. Another good oil is argan oil. It reduces the brittleness in your hair. I have clients that have come to me with like really damaged ends from like color or over processing their hair with some type of chemicals. I had one girl who was natural, but she didn't like the fact that her edges wouldn't lay down. So she relaxed her edges and it was not a good idea. What happened was the two textures, as the hair starts to grow out with the chemical in it, start to react towards each other. Also, the products that you have that you may be using to manage your natural hair the chemicals in your relaxer doesn't necessarily like those chemicals, those products. So her hair started to break, and so with that breakage and with that damage, we ended up having to use a lot of argan oil to combat that. And so I just kind of made up my own mixture to help her with managing that. So it helps to also make the hair stronger and easier to style. For those of you who have thinner, medium to thinner hair, and detangling your hair, especially if you use it as a pre-poo, and I'll explain what a pre-poo is, and it's just basically putting it on before you shampoo your hair. You can use it from the root to the ends and take your comb and lightly comb through. It'll get rid of all of the tangles in your hair. It will also allow you to retain moisture. It can be used as a conditioner. I've never done this, but I do know that any oil can be used as a conditioner or an additive to your conditioner. Argan oil is a good one for it because it helps to strengthen the hair. And what I said before about the pre-poo, for those of you who do not know, a pre-poo is basically something that you put on your hair before you shampoo. The benefits of pre-pooing is to retain the moisture. What happens when we shampoo is that we strip oils from our hair. And so what you want to do is to put something in it that nourishes it, and that will allow you to use, like, let's say for instance you're on vacation. I've had this happen to some of my clients, and they use a shampoo that is probably not recommended by me. But if you take something like an argan oil or coconut oil or something and do that before you shampoo, what we call a pre-poo, and put it on and use that for a couple of minutes before you shampoo, it will lessen the harm that will happen with shampooing with a harsher conditioner. All right, so the next oil that we're going to talk about is castor oil. I absolutely love castor oil for several different reasons. One being that it is great for dry scalp. One of the things I've had people ask me was like, what do I use? I have dandruff, I suffer from dry scalp, but they don't know what to use. And a lot of times some of the products on the market will have a castor oil in it, but it's filled with petroleum. You don't want to use that. If when I tell people to use castor oil, it's 100% castor oil. And it's best used in the applicator bottle because you kind of don't want to put it on your hair. You want to use it on your scalp. Some of the benefits from castor oil, first of all, it's a hair booster. It helps to grow hair. If you want to go on a hair growth journey, I suggest using castor oil. I actually think I'm going to do a castor oil challenge because it's just that great. It heals the scalp of any infections. I used it a lot with my daughter who I explained in a previous video. She had cradle cap really bad, coupled with eczema. And so it really helped to heal some of the scars, and it allowed me to comb her hair because without that, she didn't want me to touch it. So it's really good for that. It helps to also maintain the scalp's pH balance. I suggest adding it to certain things, especially if you have, like, if you decide to make your own shea butter, I suggest always having castor oil on hand. Also, it's good for like a leave-in conditioner, and it's one of the things that I used to add to my leave-in. And I have a video on my YouTube page where I use Aussie Moist, which I still do use that for my hair. But I add like essential oil, not essential, natural oils, like castor oil being one of them, olive oil, and some other things, just to help to not have it so heavy on my hair, but also to put some of the moisture in there. Not to say that Aussie Moist doesn't have moisture, it just adds a benefit. So it also is used for an antifungal treatment. I've never used that for, but I've never used it for that particular reason, but you know, it's used for that. Like I said before, it's a great hair moisturizer. It's one of those ones that is really thick. And so the recommendation is to use the Jamaican Black Rock castor oil. The difference between the Jamaican castor oil without the Black Rock is that the Black Rock one is a little bit thinner. It actually has properties that allows it to kind of break down. It's not as thick. If you take castor oil and put it in your hand, it's really thick. So put it on your hair, it just makes the hair really sticky. But Jamaican Black Rock castor oil will allow you to put it in and use it as a styling agent, which is great. The next one, and the most popular one on the market, the one that you hear the most about is coconut oil. I absolutely love coconut oil. I use it for a lot of things outside of just hair. Cooking, I use it on um, my face. I like it on my skin. My husband uses it to shave. It has a lot of great properties. Some of the benefits that come from using coconut oil, is it strengthens the hair. It helps to moisturize the hair. It conditions the hair. This probably is the best pre-poo ever. Like if you wanted to use anything, I would suggest using coconut oil, and that goes for all hair types. It helps for it's a great detangler. Again, for those who have thinner to medium textured hair, you add that on to your hair and then comb through it really lightly. It's great for a detangler. For those of us who have thicker curly hair, a little bit more coarse, it's still a great pre-poo. It conditions, it's not heavy, but it still gives you that moisture and the shine that you want, especially when you're using a shampoo that may be a little bit more harsh. Um, it's a natural sunscreen. I've added coconut oil to my henna, and I use henna to color my hair now. I've gone from the chemical color to a henna based color, and just preference wise, I've found a color that I really like, which is this, if you can see it. And so that's all. But not to say that viewing color is good or bad, and we'll probably talk about that later, and how you can actually use a buffer in order to create some kind of distance between your hair and the chemicals that come from coloring. Coconut oil also helps to treat dandruff and dry scalp. I will say if you have an extreme case of dandruff and dry scalp, I would use castor oil over coconut oil, just because it's a little bit lighter than castor oil, and it tends to dry really quick. Like those of us who have drier scalps and hair that tends to eat oil, as we say, a coconut oil is only gonna last you a little bit. So you don't have to use it like every single day. Whereas a castor oil would be an every other day sort of situation. So it just depends on your level of dryness. And I mentioned before that it's a great detangler and that it's used as a styling agent. I love coconut oil. It's found in a lot of natural products that are on the shelves today. The next one is tea tree oil. I like tea tree oil, especially adding it to my shampoo. I also like to add it to my conditioner sometimes. It moistens the hair. It prevents infections on the scalp. So it also is great for itchy scalp. And a lot of times, for those of us who wear protective styles in the summer or winter, when you take your braids out, instead of going to town on your hair because it itches, take a spray bottle and put a little bit of water in there and drop maybe like 2 or 3 drops of tea tree oil and mix it up and just spray your scalp really, really good and just massage it in. It's great for that. It stops cradle cap. I mentioned again that my daughter had that happen to her when she was younger, and I did use tea tree oil in her shampoo to help us. We were directed to get a medical shampoo that we paid a lot of money for, and it did not work. And then I added tea tree oil to my shampoo. That was just your regular Castile soap that's unscented, and some oils along with tea tree, and I had no more problems. So I would suggest to do that. And I can list off some recipes for you if you're really looking for something to use for your child's hair, especially if you suffers from cradle cap or dry scalp or anything like that. I can help you with that. It also helps to regrow hair and controls excess oil on the scalp that may clog up the hair. Those of you who use a lot of butter, a lot of gels, a lot of things that may have petroleum in them. Tea tree is a good kind of like take a little bit and rub it on your scalp and just kind of massage your scalp before you're shampooing. It'll help to remove some of those oils. I apologize if you're hearing Ava. The last one is jojoba oil, and I think I used jojoba oil like a lot when I first became natural. It was one of the things that I absolutely loved. My hair loved it, and then over time your hair starts to not reject things, but it gets used to it. It's like, yeah, whatever. So I did add it to some of the things that I use, but it wasn't a main thing. Like I was using it as a sealer. And what I mean by that is if I were going to wear my hair like this, which is a twist out, and it was wet, so it's water, oil, then your product. And I know a lot of people on YouTube use the lock method and they put the leave-in first and then an oil. Newsflash, don't do that anymore. The reason why is because whenever you put something like a product and then follow it with an oil, the oil's just gonna sit on top of the product and it's not gonna get on your hair. So do the oil first, then the product. Okay, so jojoba oil fights dandruff. It's good to put into your shampoo, especially if you can add it in with your tea tree oil to your shampoo. It will be great for that. It treats dry hair, it moisturizes the hair and the scalp. It acts as an antibacterial, treats damaged hair. A lot of times, I would use it as a hot oil treatment and like saturate my ends with it and then put on a cap and like wrap a warm towel or sit underneath a warm dryer, not a hot dryer, just a warm dryer, for the split ends. And it treats the split ends and it treats damaged hair. What you want to do when your hair is damaged is to go to a professional first. If you can. If you can't, you can try little remedies like this. It's not going to correct the split ends. Nothing's going to help split ends other than to cut them off. But it will allow you to kind of not go that way after you've cut them off. Because it's not going to stop it from continuing to split unless you cut them. Once your ends are split, they're going to continue to split up the shaft. And so basically the remedy is to cut off the split end and then treat the hair. So hopefully this helped you all. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the oils that we find in our products. A lot of times we just buy products because we're like, ooh, this is a natural oil and I heard it was good. That's great. But now you know why those things help and what you can do for yourself. I suggest that all the oils that I mentioned, that you go and purchase them yourself. Do not buy the kind that does not say it's 100%. If it's not a virgin, you don't want it. If it's got like a mixture of something in it, I like to mix my own. If I'm gonna mix it, I don't want you to mix it for me. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times there's synthetics in the products and it defeats the purpose of having a natural product if you're gonna put synthetics in. It's not natural anymore. It's just a product. So if you really want to use a castor oil, don't get the castor oil that comes in a little container with the white top. You know, I've seen some people go, "Ooh, Black Magic made one that has castor oil." No. No. 100% natural. And you can find a lot of your natural oils at Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. The Vitamin Shop has a lot of those oils. I particularly like Earth Fare and Whole Foods, but it's up to you. A lot of times you can go on Amazon. I would just be aware of the sellers and look at their ratings. Some of them may send you stuff that isn't necessarily. I've never had that happen to me ordering on Amazon, but I also know who to order from, and I can always give you a list of people to order from if you are interested in doing that. So I'm gonna wrap this video up because, as you can see or hear, my kids are going crazy. Hopefully my technology will work and I won't have to do a bunch of live videos. They will be nice and edited. But I appreciate you guys watching. I thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel, as well as liking our Facebook page and sharing the videos with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much. I think what I'm gonna do is a challenge after Easter, and hopefully give away some of our products, our Pure products. Pure is the name of our hair care line. It is 100% natural. It's designed for children originally. However, because it's 100% natural and there's nothing in there that's specific to children, the entire family can use it. So I want to give away a couple of the things that we offer in our product line and have you try them and give me some feedback. So I'm hoping to do a challenge right after Easter that basically I'm hoping that you will share these videos and subscribe to our to my YouTube channel and Instagram and Facebook and that whole deal, and then we will pick a winner randomly out of the people who have followed us. So thank you guys again and have a good day. Bye.